This week on the Steel Report.
We're going to have a celebration of the new river park here in Cedar Falls.
The Cedar Falls Gateway Water Trail project is nearing completion with a big free event set for September 14th. We'll tell you about that. Plus,
this trip has been amazing and the views are just outstanding.
The KWWL viewer trip to Big Sky Country. And our program for this week begins right now.
Now from KWWL, this is the Steel Report.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Steel Report. We're going to take you out west of Big Sky Country on the KWWL viewer trip here in just a few minutes. But first of all, I want to bring you an important follow-up to our report from earlier this year on the Cedar River Experience project in downtown Cedar Falls. It's now known as the Gateway Trail Project, voted by members of you, the public, in the recent naming contest. So right now, let's head to downtown Cedar Falls on State Street to River Place Plaza with Ty Graham. We talked to him earlier this year. He's from the Prairie Rapids Paddlers to talk about the project and also a free fundraising event coming up on the night of September 14th.
Well, Ron, on September 14th, what we're going to do is we're going to have a celebration of the new river park here in Cedar Falls. Just to say thank you for all the hard work that everybody's done over the last couple of decades. And we want to use it as a kickoff to our new youth river education and stewardship program, teaching young adults on the proper way to safely use this new park. Right here at River Plaza Place at 200 State Street in downtown Cedar Falls. We're flying in world famous Dash Rip Rock from New Orleans, Louisiana. Great band, Katie and the Honky Tonks, local great band. They're going to open up for them. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have beverages of all sorts and a rip-roaring good time. Well, you know, we want people to know that this is free to attend for sure, but we are trying to raise some donations to get this youth river education and stewardship program up and running. But yeah, we also want people to come on down and just take part in the success of getting this park built this many years later. Prairie Rapids Paddlers is throwing this party along with Eagle View Hospitality and River Place Plaza as co-hosts. But Prairie Rapids Paddlers, we started this group a little over 22 years ago, and we were the first ones to put up the $25,000 to get the public ask of that $500,000 paid for. Well, the park cost around $6.5 million. There were several grants that assisted with that. The city put in a portion of that money, and then there was a public ask of $500,000 that was also raised to help defray costs. Well, over at the park, we still have some upland stuff left to do, some landscaping and some sidewalk stuff. There's a very small piece of the in-stream stuff that we're going to do starting tomorrow and then into next week, but other than that, the in-stream stuff is done. Yeah, Ron, as you can see, even as we're doing this interview, there's still a little bit of upland work to do. We got some ADA compliant walkways that we're building here so that everybody can have equal access to the features. And then some beautification stuff too. The landscaping and stuff is going in. These three rocks right here, these are what we call randoms. They're actually not random at all. We place them in a specific spot. These kind of notify people that this is where the beginning of these rapids are. They're also good for fish habitat. Fish like to get up behind them. They can hide, they can breed. There's more food behind there. It's calmer water for them. And then it kind of signifies that, hey, this is the start of where the rapids are. Well, what we're doing is we're building all these ADA compliant walkways so that everybody has equal access to their #1 natural resource, the Cedar River here in town. It makes it nice so that people have a nice, gentle slope that they can walk down. And then as we get up along the sides here, we're pouring a new trail, and we're putting in some landscaping, some beautification stuff. You know, most of the users in these parks are people up on the shoreline. Studies show that for every one guy like me that comes to a park like this to use it to kayak or to surf, will spend around $75 a day, which is good money. But for every one of me that's in the water, there's 4 people on shore. That same study shows that those 4 people will spend $45 a day. So the economics pan out to the people who aren't really in the water. And you know something, Ron? Even if this thing doesn't make a single dime for us, even if we don't make a penny off of this park, I personally believe that we, the citizens of Cedar Falls, and further the citizens of Iowa, deserve better than what we had. We deserve a nice, clean, safe place to recreate, not concrete rebar and sewer pipes sticking out of the side of our river. This is the way it should be. Safe, unfettered access to our #1 natural resource. This river belongs to the citizens of the state of Iowa. We need to start treating it with respect, and that's what we're doing here now. So this area here is known as Prairie Rapids. This first section here is called Alpha, the middle one's called Bravo, the next one is called Charlie, and then that piece that's out there in the center of the river, that's called Clay Hole. And that's a nod to the old clay manufacturing equipment that was here prior. As you can see, the water's low right now, but that's the way it works, man. Sometimes the water's up, sometimes the water's down, sometimes it's perfect. But what's really fun is these pools up above here. Now you can have access into this without risking your life. You can get out here, and the water's only about 2.5 to 3 feet deep right now. And it's a nice freshwater source where people can come in and get in the water. This water down below right here, this is where I was telling you, we've had some members of different sports teams at UNI, the strength and conditioning coaches brought them out here to either recoup or do strength and conditioning training. And I myself, I peel out into this water right here, swim as hard as I can for a minute, get out and rest. It's like having a swimming treadmill right in your backyard. The interesting thing about these 3 features is this is one of the first one of its kind. This is a design that Riverwise Engineering is really trying to master. As the water comes up and down, all 3 of these plates are different shapes, different altitudes, and different slopes. As the water comes up and down, each one will provide a different skill level. As you can see right now, it's super duper beginner friendly. It's super duper easy. But as the water comes up and down, it's going to go from easy to intermediate to expert level, and then back down again. It's the first of its kind. These trail stones along the side, they're obviously guide stones, making sure that people are safe coming down the trail. And then all these glacial erratics that are placed up here are bank armoring, so that when the water does come up, it provides a little bit of protection from soil erosion. Plus, from the other side, all these different colors of these glacial erratics, it just pops. You know, before when people came across the bridge, they'd come down these highways and onto the exits, and this would be the first look that they have coming into Cedar Falls, and it was chunks of broken concrete and trash and whatnot. Now when they come across, they're gonna look across over here and they're gonna see all this color and all these beautiful walkways. I think this is gonna give them a better first impression of what Cedar Falls is about. And we're really going to need to educate the public on how to properly use this new park that we've built. You know, I'm talking about a River Basics 101, what equipment to use, where to go, how to swim in current. So you can see now this one's out of water, and quite frankly, the water's low this time of year. That's what's going to happen. Sometimes it's going to be working absolutely fantastic. Sometimes the water's going to be too high. Sometimes it's going to be too low. It's a natural river. It comes up and down. That's all there is to it. So you try to build things for the overall average. And we're looking for donations. We're trying to raise $10,000 to $15,000 for this new youth river education and stewardship program, and we think we can do it. It starts at 6 o'clock with a social hour, and then along 7 o'clock or so, we're going to start Katie and the Honky Tonks. Dash Rip Rock goes on stage at 8:30.
As always, a great big thanks to Ty Graham of the Prairie Rapids Paddlers, telling us all about the project downtown and that free event set for September 14th in downtown Cedar Falls. We certainly hope you can make it. Coming up next, some of the sights and sounds of the recent KWWO viewer trip to Big Sky Country out west.